American King is back. Bigger, better, and more lethal than ever before. Meet the new upgraded F-22 Raptor, the world's first 5th-generation fighter set to become the first 6th-generation fighter too. Packed with a line of technologies that no other nation has access to. Not China, not Russia, and not even allies of the United States. The Raptor has always been too special to be shared. And with the fighter now upgraded in the 6th-generation NGAD program, it just got even more special. The Next Generation Air Dominance, or NGAD, is the United States 6th-generation program tasked with developing the future generation family of systems that will ensure air superiority for the U.S. in the most challenging operational environments. The program involves the development of companion unmanned aircraft and weapons that are connected by high-end networking architecture to the program's highly adaptable manned fighter, with substantial range, enhanced survivability, and the most advanced modular sensor capabilities. The description of this fighter bears a striking resemblance to what would be used for a fighter the world has already known and come to fear, the F-22 Raptor. And so, the Raptor was introduced into the NGAD program to not only aid in the development, testing, and evaluation of the technologies that would class a fighter as 6th generation, but to also keep those technologies for itself as well. This is made unmistakably clear in the 2023 fiscal year budget document that, under the F-22 Advanced Technology Development, or ATD program, describes how the F-22 is being used as something of a surrogate to aid in the birth of the 6th generation of technologies. The document highlights that the ATD program is conducted using a rapid acquisition construct that leverages commercial best practices, such as Agile and Lean, to develop, test, and field both software and hardware from multiple programs in required timelines, while also maximizing efficiency by utilizing technology transfer both to the NGAD portfolio and from it based on emerging threats, military priorities, and development pipeline capacity, subtly justifying that by using the F-22 as a testbed, development's costs are saved. And should the NGAD program still prove to be more costly than convenient, this would be only a minor setback, as there would already be in existence a somewhat 6th-generation Raptor capable of ripping even next-generation adversaries to shreds by wielding a suite of future technologies today. Now, what are these technologies? With 14 potential F-22 upgrades, the Air Force is going all out to ensure the new upgraded Raptor would be a source of nightmares for forces that aren't exactly friends of the U.S. And while even the less major of these upgrades are rather interesting, from the manned-unmanned teaming capability to the integration of the Thales Scorpion helmet-mounted display, there are 4 main highlights that have stood out from the rest, which we'll check out now. The first of now 3 types of exotic metallic-like coatings fitted on an F-22 Raptor was caught in the camera lens of aviation photographer Santos Caceres as the jet blasted out of Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada on the morning of November 19, 2021. The aircraft is seen covered in some reflective coating that's unlike anything seen on a Raptor before. This coating, and others like it, are carefully applied to not interfere with the jet's many key access points and critical systems, and they're expected to do one or both of 2 things. The first is to reduce the F-22 signature, specifically in the infrared spectrum, shrinking the jet's already notoriously small radar signature and making the world's first stealth fighter even stealthier. The second is an idea born out of having seen a similar highly reflective coating on the exotic airframe of the scaled composites Model 401 Son of Ares demonstrators that had flown a number of test flights over Naval Air Weapons Center China Lake in California. At the time, the coating was posited as a tool used in testing advanced infrared sensors, as the Air Force had made it clear that a tremendous amount of testing was ongoing on infrared search and track systems, or IRSTs. On April 27 this year, General Mark Kelly, the head of the U.S. Air Force's Air Combat Command, posted an interesting piece of art featuring 3 F-22 Raptors on his Instagram page, clearly hinting at the success of some of the upgrades meant for the jet. In this art, the three Raptors are outfitted with faceted pods under their wings that resemble the low observable pods seen under the wings of an F-22 test jet earlier this year. It is impossible to say for sure what the tasks of these pods are for now, as there's no official statement released, but the Air Force's IRST activities strongly suggest these are IRST pods. IRST sensors provide a capability to passively detect and track both stealthy and non-stealthy aircraft from miles away, while being completely immune to electronic warfare. And as electronic warfare has grown to become the stuff of dreams for the most advanced air forces, IRST capabilities have been long awaited for the Raptor. Over the years, the Air Force has claimed mountains, crossed seas, and traversed the metaverse to arrive at an IRST pod that would solve the insufficient internal real estate of the Raptor to home IRST systems and the high costs of embedding them, even if there was enough space in the jet to build a football stadium. Back to General Mark Kelly's post on Instagram, the three F-22s were also kitted with unique-looking fuel tanks in a new tank arrangement known as the Long Drag Tank and Pylon, or LDTP. LDTP is critical for the Air Force, so much so that it is involved in two separate programs simultaneously. That is, the Engineering, Manufacturing and Development, or EMD program, and NGAD's ATD Major Thrust program. The LDTP arrangement offers the solution to one of the Raptor's biggest weaknesses, its range, as the fighter would often be doomed to haul stealth-degrading external tanks in executing missions over great distances, over the Pacific for instance, where China has been something of a worry for the US. The LDTP is stealthier and more aerodynamically efficient than the original 600-gallon fuel tanks of the F-22, provides reduced drag, increased range, better sustained supersonic flight, and ultimately ensures that the Raptor can operate lethally every second it's in the air. In addition, the pylons in the LDTP, which can be ejected during flight, come equipped with smart rack pneumatic technology to accurately control ejection performance and a smooth windswept surface for even less drag. Perhaps the most interesting revelation in General Mark Kelly's Instagram post is a missile depicted to have been shot from one of the three F-22s. A missile that's unlike any ever seen in the US inventory before. There are multiple missile programs ongoing, and so it is uncertain which of those is being represented here. But it could likely be the AIM-260 Long-Range Joint Advanced Tactical Missile. This missile is designed to fit in the same general space that the F-22-compatible AIM-120 AMRAAM can fit into, and is scheduled to be in service as early as next year, around the same time as the new F-22s could be inducted. The AIM-260 is a beyond visual range air-to-air missile, designed as a response to the advanced long-range missiles being developed by potential adversaries, such as China's PL-15. The AIM-260 was first unveiled in 2019, 2 years after its development began, and it is expected to replace the AIM-120 missiles as it becomes the go-to air-to-air missile for the F/A-18EF Super Hornet, the F-35 Lightning II, and the F-22 Raptor. This ability of the Raptor to field a weapon that's at least 2 decades older than it is proof of just how dynamic the Raptor can be, and preserving this dynamic nature must be one reason the F-22 cannot be exported. But it isn't the only reason. There's more. With talks about 6th-generation fighters constantly increasing, it's easy to forget just how revolutionary 5th-generation fighters are. And at the forefront of this revolution was a brand new F-22 Raptor, a fighter so powerful it had to, at the time, be put in a class of its own, literally. A fighter that came with a combination of stealth, secret voiceless communication power, speed, agility, situational awareness, and weaponry that made it the undisputable king of air dominance. And for the jet to preserve this dominance for as long as it has, the US government had to pass a federal law that stands to this day, banning the F-22 from being sold or exported to any other nation, be it friend or foe, a move that, if it wasn't made, could have seen the F-22 heavily imitated by now, as it continues to stand as the fighter to beat, with further proof of that seeing in the fact that it, not the newer F-35, is being used to develop the next-generation air superiority fighter of the US Air Force. And so that too will likely never be exported as it nears its destiny to retire the fighter that birthed it. A fighter that revolutionized both military and commercial aviation into what we see today. A fighter that proved it was possible to be virtually unseen by radars while moving in broad daylight faster than the speed of sound. This fighter is the F-22 Raptor, a good sport that's not only developing its own successor to make its final statement as it retires, but also that you should subscribe to this channel and give this video a like. That would be all for now. Thanks for watching.